Don't just wait for things to happen. You have to ask to get paid. We're able to produce content that gets literally millions of impressions. So in the past few months, I've been working with an Instagram creator who has grown from 10,000 followers to 275,000 followers. I am working on deals and partnerships and sponsorships and client work deals. And what seems to have worked has not been just sitting there and waiting for these deals to show up. In fact, this was never the approach that we took. We always took the approach of being proactive and reaching out to as many people as possible in order to get brand deals, in order to get client work, and in order to get partnerships. And this, I think, is the approach that you should take if you are serious about monetizing your Instagram. You should be always reaching out to people. For outreach to be effective, there are 3 things you need to take into account for that outreach to actually translate into partnership deals, into brand deals, into client work. The first thing that I learned when I was doing this outreach for this Instagram creator was that you have to ask to get paid. When we in the past approached brands, a lot of them were willing to provide unpaid opportunities or just barter trade opportunities back when he was at 10,000 followers. We did take a couple of these unpaid opportunities just so that we could get some experience and show what he was capable of. Now, that is where unpaid opportunities can matter. It can be a great way for you to get exposure and get your work noticed so that you can then move on to asking for a paid opportunity, but they should never be the focus of your outreach approach. You shouldn't be thinking in terms of, okay, I'm gonna reach out to these people and get these unpaid opportunities so that I can get more exposure and grow my audience even further. You don't want to be known as the kind of person who doesn't value their work. Even if you're, say, at 10,000 followers, I still think that you should be asking for money up front and not be settling for unpaid opportunities. So always ask to get paid, especially if what you can offer is valuable. And value could be reach. Value could be you have a very small but very engaged audience that will translate into sales, that will translate into whatever metric this brand wants to boost with a collaboration. So I would practice asking for money up front, especially when you're small, so that when you are big, you're just comfortable with asking for money up front and comfortable with turning down opportunities that are not paid unless they're massive opportunities that will give you a lot of exposure. The second thing that I've been learning, you should always ask for things, but also know what you can offer. Know what you offer and how it's relevant to the brand or client, especially when you're reaching out to them cold. Know what you can offer that is relevant to what they care about. Know what you can offer that actually boosts some metric they care about, or helps their clients, or helps them generate more sales, more revenue. Think about what you can do, what your skills can produce that will matter to whomever you're reaching out. That is especially important for brands to get lots of outreach messages, that get lots of DMs, that get lots of emails. You want to be very clear about what you can offer. And that's something that we really worked on when we were reaching out back in the day, which was 6 months ago, and still are really serious about. And for us, that's actually significant reach. We're able to produce content that gets massive reach, that gets literally millions of impressions. And we've proven this through a track record of going viral multiple times, not just once, but more than 10 times. So to be able to then tell clients that that has happened for us and that we know how to produce content that might help them go viral, that's something they definitely care about, because that, for example, if it's a consumer brand and they're selling a product, that could translate into sales, that could translate into additional revenue, that could translate into new customers that then stay with the brand. So that's a ton of customers coming in, all of whom might have very high customer lifetime values. That's how you should be approaching brands. If you don't really know what you can offer, you're probably not going to get to a point where you're actually going to make a deal with a brand, because they don't know what you can provide. You don't even know what you can provide. So there's really no exchange of value there waiting to happen. And the third thing is always follow up. Just because a brand decided not to work with you at 10,000 followers does not mean a brand will not work with you at 50,000 or 100,000 or 200,000 or even at 15,000, or maybe you can show some metric or some piece of work that did well, and then you can just approach them again and follow up and say, hey, I know you said no last time, but this actually happened. So I think this will benefit your brand, going back to the offer part of this video. And therefore, I think this is going to help generate more revenue for you if we partner together. Always follow up, always maintain these relationships that you build throughout this process. Just because someone said no at one point in time will not mean they will say no when you are a bigger creator. So those are the 3 things that I think you should keep in mind if you are currently sourcing brand deals and sponsorship opportunities for your Instagram account. If you are a creator, don't just wait for things to happen. In addition to creating content, you should also be doing a lot of outreach, a lot of emailing, just going to events too and talking to people, which is what we're going to be doing a lot more of also. Just going to events and just talking to people and trying to understand if there's something that they need help with that we could help with. Because if we help them and they pay us, then we're just going to get more exposure. They're going to get what they need. We're going to get what we want, and everyone just wins in this situation. And that's what you want to create. You want to create win-win situations all the time when you're sourcing these deals, not just talking about what you can offer and what you want, but knowing what they need so you can see if you can offer what they need so that both sides are satisfied.